The greatest creator is one and unique. Written by Xuefeng. The principle of the unity of opposites is a key to understanding the universe. Everything in the world exists in relative pairs. If one side is lost, the other also loses its condition for existence. Yin and yang, positive and negative, inside and outside, surface and lining, male and female, masculine and feminine, firm and gentle, honor and disgrace, smooth and adverse, existence and non-existence, emptiness and substance, life and death, light and darkness, motion and stillness, strength and weakness, noble and humble, high and low, rich and poor, misfortune and blessing, merit and fault, gain and loss, advance and retreat, large and small, up and down, more and less, front and back, left and right, true and false, good and evil, beauty and ugliness, fragrance and stench, celestial beings and human beings, Buddhas and demons, gods and ghosts, material and spirit, heaven and hell, celestial realm and human world, and so on. All depend on one another, coexisting and thriving together. Even a thin sheet of paper has two sides. Without the front, there can be no back, and without the back, there can be no front. However, the principle of the unity of opposites cannot explain all phenomena. Every law has exceptions. Within universality, there is particularity. Within commonality, there is individuality. And within duality, there is neutrality. The impartial way of balance is to seek the central point between extremes. The threshold point, where quantitative change turns into qualitative change, is not a matter of duality, but of oneness. Wuji gives birth to Taiji. Taiji gives birth to two forms. Wuji refers to the state before the universe and all things had yet to take form. In that state, there was no matter, only energy. This traceless, formless, shapeless energy, through chaotic collisions, formed an energy cluster, Taiji. There is a simple experiment. Use a flat-bottomed glass to drink a cup of milk. Do not wash it afterwards, but leave it for 12 hours, and then observe the patterns and structures at the bottom of the glass. This will help you understand the formation of Taiji. The first unconscious movement of Taiji set in motion the orderly movement of all energy. And thus, time and space in the human sense came into being, and the two forms were born. And the two forms are the opposing yet unified phenomena of matter and antimatter, the visible and the invisible. The formation of the two forms can be understood in this way. The greater the energy, the more formless it becomes. The lesser the energy, the more it takes shape. This is the key to the birth and formation of the universe. What Lao Tzu perceived as the great formless image refers to the energy cluster before the birth of the two forms, namely Taiji. Mao Zedong thought it's also a kind of energy cluster. It has influenced countless people's lives and directed many of their words and actions. Yet who can see clearly what color or shape it is? My purpose in speaking of Taiji here is to recognize it. Taiji originates from Wuji, which was born from the chaotic, irregular collisions of formless, shapeless energy. You may observe the irregular motion of molecules under a microscope. The primordial energy motion was like that. Once the Taiji energy cluster formed, the world of energy entered ordered movement. Where energy was weaker, visible matter appeared. Where energy was greater, invisible antimatter gradually formed. Just like in a person, where energy is weaker, there is the physical body, and where energy is stronger, there is thought and spirit. From this, Taiji gave birth to the two forms, namely visible matter and invisible antimatter, positive and negative, yin and yang, light and dark, true and false, good and evil, all were born, and the myriad phenomena of the universe emerged from Taiji and the two forms. The Heavenly Father spoken of in the Bible and the Allah spoken of in the Quran are both creators of the universe and all things, without a doubt. What they refer to is what Taoism in China calls Taiji. Though the names differ, the essence is the same. That is to say, Taiji is the greatest creator, and the greatest creator is Taiji. Wuji gives birth to Taiji, and Taiji gives birth to two forms. The myriad phenomena of the universe come from the two forms. The two forms are dual and unified, but they come from Taiji. Taiji, however, is one and unique. It is not dual and not a unity of opposites. Therefore, the greatest creator is one. The greatest creator has no opposite.